India shred into pieces the US religious rights body's annual report for its brazen misrepresentation of facts about religious freedom in the world's largest democracy. The US Commission on International Religious Freedom called for sanctions on India's external intelligence agency, Research and Analysis Wing, or the R&aw, for its alleged involvement in assassination plots against Khalistani extremists. India hit back with a first-of-its-kind rebuttal. New Delhi called the US body's recommendations as biased and politically motivated. India said that the US body's report reflects a deliberate agenda and not genuine concern for religious freedoms. New Delhi concluded that the US religious rights body should be designated as an entity of concern amid its blatant disregard for the harmonious coexistence of India's diverse communities. Time and again in recent years, India has pointed out inherent flaws in the annual reports of the US religious body. As for its fresh emphasis on sanctioning former Indian government official allegedly involved in an assassination plot, New Delhi has previously pledged to cooperate with the US authorities. At the same time, India has asked countries in the West, in this case the US and Canada, to provide evidence of what these countries call alleged assassination plots by New Delhi against individuals listed as terrorists by India. But so far, despite prompt cooperation efforts by Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government, Canada has failed to present evidence before New Delhi to prove its assassination allegations. India has also pointed out national security risks posed by individuals and entities that seek electoral gains by fanning anti-India separatism and extremism. But the US religious body's report fails to take into account the granular details of these proceedings. Instead, as India pointed out, the US report conveniently chooses to misrepresent isolated incidents to cast aspersions on India's vibrant multicultural society. As a panel that gives recommendations to the US government on a matter as critical as global state of religious freedoms, one might expect its reports to have a baseline understanding of the countries where minorities are threatened by the extremists. But turns out it's a lot to expect. The report conveniently excludes Bangladesh from its recommendations of concern, where in the aftermath of the former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's ouster last year, more than 200 people were reported killed across religions in Bangladesh. Over 150 temples were reportedly desecrated. India's response has made it clear that the US religious body's report is nothing but a political farce, as evident with its exclusion of Bangladesh. The US body seems to have a blind spot for real religious persecution. Is the US CIRF an embarrassment to the United States? As year after year, the world continues to reject its politicized agenda.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
No, I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
The Prime Minister Modi.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Bluntly, Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.